Today we explore the most insane Revenant strats that no one has on Apex Legends Olympus. First spot is on power grid here on this little telephone pole. It's a little bit of cheese to get up onto it, but it's a nice little spot to look and hide from people. Now all these spots we're covering today are kind of like rat spots, but not really. It's places to get rotations, high ground, or just moving from one place to another, going around teams, around choke points. These first two spots are at power grid, a nice power line, and wall you can jump over. This other spot here is also in Rift, which is right next to power grid, the big black dome, and you can pretty much just go big rev jump onto the platform without taking the zip line. This spot right here is a wall also in between power grid and Rift. You can kind of get a little hide, little rat fest going on right here, but it's not a bad spot. Different place right here is the wall outside of Hammond Labs. Instead of going up the ramp or any of the zip lines, which are kind of like choke points, you can just climb up the wall like this. You can just kind of stop halfway in between up the like rocks too, which is also works. And you can do this on both sides. This is what this camera angle is, and then you can just climb up here and not have to worry being loud and people hearing you go up a zip line or a Pathfinder zip line or literally anything at all. This is another spot going right up. Instead of the zip line, it makes noise. Same thing, I'm going to be saying there's like a bunch. This is an elevator shaft inside Oasis. This spot right here is a big huge wall in between Gardens and Rift. Two separate climbs. The first one is kind of just going up a ledge, but both of these are pretty tall. The second one is like a lot of these walls that are around Olympus where you can just climb over them, but the other side you can't really because it's like a slip ledge. This climb is just inside Energy Depot. This yellow structure and this light or lamp or whatever are kind of like copy and pasted all around the map, so you can just do this like anywhere. It's not just an Energy Depot thing. Here's another one of these spots right outside Estates. You can do this here too. And there were some people that were fighting, so I was like, yeah, let me just take some shots with the bow check here.
Hey, your shots, kid.
They're doing some nice damage. And there's this other big climb going around Estates. Going up the ramp, normally you just have to walk up and you're very open and can get shot at pretty easily. But this is another way of doing that. This is another one of those telescreen walls or whatever. I don't know what the hell they're called. Outside of Estates going towards Hydro. And then you can kind of do that. Here's another one of those yellow pass-throughs. I don't really know what it's called, but that's a decent spot. Here's a wall in between Estates and Hydro. You can go over. It doesn't push you off, but you can't stay up here. But it is a good little rotation, especially when zone closes in. This is the peak grow tower spot right here, where you don't even have to climb up the actual structure, like through the ramps and whatever. You can just straight up climb up the side all the way to the 3rd floor and kind of just ignore anyone. This is right next to grow towers. Not really a good rat spot. You're out in the open, but it's kind of weird. You can just sit right there. But going past grow towers towards Gardens is this giant wall. Instead of having to go around, you can just straight up go over. Good when the zone closes in here. And the tree is a little bit of coverage, but you can just jump right over.
And if you're wearing a skin bag, you have to subscribe, especially if I'm the champion once, twice.
This is more of a rat spot going from Hammond Labs, rotating like clockwise towards Solar Array. Kind of just some rocks there. In between all the POIs is this kind of wall thing you can just climb over. Kind of like this choke point like I'm showing right here, except I have an epic nade play into an epic win. This is one of the main spots of why I made this video, in the big 2 walls inside Hydroponics. You can't stay up here, but you can just climb over. It doesn't push you off. You do need to use the big rev tactical to actually get over though. Here's a smaller spot. It's kind of just good for small fights. Instead of going up the ramp, you can kind of get closer to the ledge. Here's another one of those towers outside Hydro. Has good vantage point when the storm closes there. This is like a copy and pasted tower that you can kind of sit on. This one is inside docks. That's a little bit higher, more of a higher up and kind of hide behind. This is on Asylum, and you can kind of just go on top of this roof, which I don't really expect. This is only really important for like early game fights because the zone like never closes here like ever. And there's like a little catwalk here too, which is good. And also you don't have to take the redeploy. You can just kind of walk up on the side. That works. This is inside Bonsai. You can just climb up these walls. You don't have to like go around, and any of the walls that are just like low enough you can just climb them. There's no ledges or anything, so that's really hype. And this team decided to mess with me while I was recording.
Now it's my turn!
So I decided to squad wipe them. Epic 1v3.
Well, well, well. how the turntables.
Here's another wall outside Bonsai in between Solar Array. There is a zipline, but a little sneakily without using the zipline. This is a spot in between Icarus and Bonsai. I have like the zone closed here a few times. It's actually a really tall wall, but you can climb up without going the zipline. There's a few spots to like reset your climb. This is inside Turbine. A few of these spots you can just go through without going through the tunnel and go over the wall instead. This is outside Orbital Cannon without taking the zipline or the ramp. This is a Turbine again, another one of these, but instead of going over, you can actually just chill on top and get a better vantage point. This is just outside Solar Array, a little bit of a sniper vantage point here. This is also Solar Array, but you can't stay up here. I just thought it was cool. You can just get up on these trees and the light post just outside Oasis. I mean, you're kind of open, but it's still kind of cool. You can just vibe on a tree like that. Back in Solar Array, again, just another one of the spots you can chill up on. You can land up there too, even. This is like another duplicated little satellite tower. I'm getting shot here, but also in Solar Array, good little post-up spot for sniper. This is just outside Fight Night. Instead of going like through the choke point, you can just go up the side of the wall and kind of little flank here, which is kind of nice. Also in Fight Night, instead of going up the zipline if you have some early game fights, to be quieter, you can just kind of parkour up the wall, which is kind of epic, I'm not gonna lie. Also outside Fight Night, this is not really an insane thing, but
stupid contacts.
Apparently it was good enough because this team didn't see me, which is amazing, so now we're just gonna go ahead and take them out real quick.
You wanna see me do it again?
This is in between Carrier and Oasis, and you can also take this to jump onto over here, which is, there's a few more of these around the map, you'll find them. Outside of Docks is this climb here. It's kind of a big wall for anyone else to go up. Revenant kind of do it. There's like ramps to the left and right, but that's the only way to actually get up. And then here's a nice little epic kill game win for the subscribe double win.